Right, welcome to the fourth tutorial of creating a snake game in Visual C Sharp. So far we've created the snake, created the food, got the snake moving around, got the food moving when it's been hit by the snake. So the only real last few things we've got to do is make the snake grow when it does come in contact with the food, and get some scoring and things up like that. So in this tutorial we'll make the snake grow and do the collisions for the borders, and then the final tutorial we'll do the scoring and maybe a menu or something like that. So just quickly, before we start coding again, if we could go into form 1 underscore paint and select the for loop, which detects whether the food's been hit by the snake, and if we can control X that, which is copy, and come down and paste it into our timer one tick event, basically just because it's not needed in the paint event, so we'll just take it completely out because it's not painting anything. And also just one last thing, for good practice, if we move into our snake.cs and we change the public rectangle snake rec to a private rectangle snake rec, and we make a property for it, so if we put public rectangle array capital S snake rec, and then we just want to make this property a read only, so we'll put get open curly bracket close curly bracket, and we'll put in between that return our snake rec, our variable. So it's pretty much just so you don't have public variables flying around everywhere. Right, so if we move to the bottom of our snake.cs, below public void move left, we want to create a new method called public void, we'll call it grow snake. And what we're doing here is simply transferring the existing array into a list, and then adding an element to the list, and then putting the list back into the array so we can get our array to grow. So if we quickly just create a temporary list, so rectangle, and we'll call it rec. So that's equal to our snake. We'll use the variable snake.toList. Cool. So yeah, list rectangle rec is equal to snake rec dot to list, and then we'll add our value to the list. So we'll put in a new rectangle, and what we'll do is we'll use the last value of the snake at the moment. So if we go snake rec open square bracket, and we go snake rec dot length -1 close bracket dot x, and then we put in snake rec open square bracket snake rec dot length -1 dot y, and we can just use our width and our height. So that's created a new piece of the snake for us, and then all we have to do now is, using our variable snake rec, we're equal to rec dot to array. Simple. Right, I think that's all we need to do for the snake class. So if we press F6, two errors are going to pop up. So snake rec is inaccessible due to its protection level. So if we double click on the error, it'll take us to where the error is, and it's here pretty much saying that since the snake rec is now private, it's not allowed to access it. So that's why we've made our property for it. And if we just change the S to a capital S, which is, if we come back up here, which is what our property is, then everything should be fine. So then if we just type in our timer, if we type in snake dot grow snake, we go out back into our form 1 cs.design and we change the timer to 50 because it's too slow at 250, and we run the application. You can see the snake's going a lot faster, and if you pick up enough food, you can see that it slowly starts to grow. So that's very good. Right, cool. So we've got the snake growing now. All we need to do really is a bit of collision detection. So if we write in public private void collision, and we write we'll write a for loop, int I is equal to 1 because we don't want to get the head of the snake. I is less than snake dot snake rec. So this is when our property comes in handy. Snake length I plus plus, and we just have an if statement. So if the snake dot snake rec 0 dot intersects with our snake dot snake rec I, so if the snake intersects with itself, so pretty much bites into itself, then we have an error. So timer 1 dot enabled is equal to false, and we can write something like message box dot show snake is dead, or something like that. It's dead. Cool. So if we come out of that for loop, and we only probably need 2 more if statements. So we can say if snake dot snake rec 0, because it's the head of the snake, dot x is less than 0, so it goes off to the left, or snake dot snake rec 0 dot x is greater than 290, which means it's going off the right side of the screen, then we can just call exactly what we did up here. So it's probably best that we make a method for this, but we'll make a method in the next tutorial for this. And pretty much we can just copy this if statement and then just change the x's to y's, and that's pretty much it. So because in the next tutorial we're going to want a lot more things happening in these if statements once the snake is dead. So yeah, we'll definitely make a method for that, with the scoring and the timing and stuff like that. So we'll get collision to be called in our timer, and we'll just see, and we'll see it going. So there you go, it's starting to get long. And if I go out, snake is dead. As you can see, it's not gonna, you can only play it once at the moment because and we'll just make sure that it's working on everyone. Yeah, so it's pretty much it's working on everyone. Next tutorial will get it working so that you can just continuously restart it, but for now I think it'll do, and yeah, cheers.